Hi everyone, this is trademark attorney Josh Gerben. Today I want to talk to you about the steps that the Washington football team is going to take in finding, clearing, and registering its new name. So there's been a ton of speculation about what the new team name will be for the Washington football team. And one of the reasons that they went to a temporary name is that it can be incredibly difficult to find a name you like that you can clear from a trademark perspective and register and not worry about being sued for infringement down the road, especially when you're running a high-profile organization such as an NFL team. So there's basically 4 steps that the Washington NFL team is likely to take over the next few months, and I want to walk you through what those are so you can see the exact process they're going to go through. The first step is you have to find a name you like. You have to find a name that you think is going to be good for your organization, in this case, the football team. The second is you need to undertake a thorough trademark search to look for any potential conflicts and any potential minefields that could lead to a lawsuit later on. The third is you want to look to see if there's any domain issues or social media issues. In other words, can you acquire domain names around the name? Can you get social media handles that you need around the name? How difficult might it be to do that? And finally, you need to submit a trademark application with the USPTO. So let's go through these steps one by one. The first is you've got to find a name that you like. And that can be really difficult for a business, let alone an NFL team that has to satisfy a fan base. So the first step that Dan Snyder and company are going to take is try to decide on what name or maybe a couple names that they could potentially use for the new team name. The next step is going to be conducting a trademark search. So a trademark search has to look at a number of different things. The first thing it has to look at is the federal government's trademark database. You have to scour this database and make sure there's not a same or similar trademark out there that could cause a problem. Now, in this case, there's been a lot of speculative filings around the team name, so that's one issue the team has to consider. The other thing is that there could be similar names out there that somebody has registered or used for a sports team somewhere, that if the Washington NFL team wants to use that particular name, they have to think really long and hard about whether or not there could be an infringement lawsuit launched at some point in the future. Now, the other 2 parts of a trademark search is you have to do a 50-state search, meaning you have to go through each of the 50 states' trademark databases, make sure it's not a local team name somewhere that could have a claim against the new name of the Washington NFL team. And you have to do something called a common law search. In the United States, you do not have to have a registered trademark to have rights. So there could be a team operating out there somewhere, think of an amateur league, that has rights around a name that the Washington NFL team might want to use. So they have to be aware of that as well. So if a name that Dan Snyder and company chooses can clear this trademark search, the next step is looking at, can we acquire the necessary things like domains and social media handles around the name? And this could mean a sleuth program of reaching out to domain owners and people that have social media handles and see if you can get them transferred to the team. As a matter of fact, the owner of the temporary name of the Washington football team had a domain that Dan Snyder came in and purchased for $10,000. And he realized after the fact that, oh my God, I might have just sold this to Dan Snyder for 10 grand and I probably could have gotten a lot more. But that was an attempt to purchase the domain, which they did successfully without paying a huge amount of money because someone decided, oh, there's an NFL team behind this. No, it was done in a sleuth capacity, which is what they will do when they're going out and trying to acquire these assets once a team name has been decided upon. Now, the final thing the team will do is file a trademark application. And this will be somewhat complicated here because the minute they file a trademark application, folks like myself and others that are looking for the team name will be able to see the filing in the USPTO records. So one thing that Dan Snyder might do is file the name of the team he wants to use offshore. In other words, you could file the trademark in a country that does not have an electronically searchable database. So think of Caribbean countries, other places like this. And you could then file the application there. And so long as the Washington football team submits that application in the US within 6 months of the foreign filing, they will get the priority date of the foreign filing. So this is a way to kind of hide the ball. Typically, when you file a US trademark application, your trademark rights start the day you file that application. But in this case, you're not filing a US application, you're filing one overseas. There's a treaty called the Paris Convention that says, okay, if you file the trademark overseas in one of many countries that are a member of this treaty, you can then file in the US within 6 months and essentially post-date your US filing to the foreign filings date. So I don't know that the Washington NFL team is going to do this kind of trademark trickery, if you will. Not really trickery, but this type of hiding of the ball. But they could, and that would be one way to try to get some rights in the team name to attach in the U.S. without having to make a very public U.S. trademark filing. But at the end of the day, either way, they're going to have to file a U.S. trademark application, and that will ultimately be how the team secures its rights. So I hope you found this interesting. As you could tell, Dan Snyder has his work cut out for him to find, clear, and register a trademark for a new team name, but we're going to probably see it all unfold in the next 12 months, and it's going to be super interesting. If you have any further questions about this, please feel free to give me a call.